Welcome, everyone, to A World Awakening. Thank you, Bill, for all the extra work that you've put into this episode. I think that people will be astounded and they will be delighted. And we've got a little tour of Scotland planned for you tonight, as well as some other stories. And I have two fascinating, wonderful, kind beyond measure individuals tonight. And I have to tell you before I bring them on, um, the night that I met them, and I knew about both of them, but I had not met them. And the night that they joined us for dinner at a pub in Edinburgh, I thought they were married. I did. And they are married, just to different people. But they have such a love of the paranormal as a field of research study. You know, it's, I can't help but be inspired by them, both of them. And both of them have fascinating stories on their own, but what they've also accomplished together is amazing. So without further ado, I would like to bring both of them on so that really they can speak to their own story. And so I'd like to introduce Mikey Thompson and Cheryl Plumb to A World Awakening. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Andrea. That's the nicest introduction I think I've ever had.
I meant every word of it. I did. I'm going to just start with blurting it out there. The two of you did something for me that was one of the kindest, most loving gestures that Kim Ippolito says. Kim says hi.
Hey, Kim.
That just touched me to my soul, to my core, to that most inner sanctum. Oh, it's Laura. I knew Laura was going to be watching. I was blah, blah, blah with her today on the phone. I knew she was going to watch. And Gina, thank you all for coming. Thank you for coming.
Ooh, the cousin.
Oh, wonderful.
Hey, cousin. The gang's all here.
Yep. Great. But we were walking. I can't remember the name of the village. I don't even remember the village. But we were walking, rounded a corner. I think we had just come out of another jail. Oh, my God, the freaking jails. And I saw this magnificent shawl, which I will be premiering to the world in Sault Ste. Marie in August, because you better bring a shawl with you up there. You'll freeze to death in August. And it was hanging in the window, and I went in and you followed me, and I'm like, I was like, oh my God, that's the most beautiful thing I think I have ever seen in my life. I am absolutely certain that I cannot afford it. And Mikey, I believe, was one of the two of you encouraged me to go in and look at the price tag, at least, go look at it. It was one of the two of you. And I went in and I saw that it was, obviously handmade, and it was very expensive, and it was real wool from real sheep in real Scotland. And oh my God. And, the designs and the colors and everything. I'm not a materialistic person, but when I saw it, my heart was like, oh, I have to have that. No, I could never spend that kind of money on myself. And when we got back to the hotel that night, you guys snuck back and got that shawl for me. And it is a precious possession. And I cried I ugly cried when you gave it to me. Maria thought my father had died. Honest to God, she did. She's like, your father, Peanut. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm checking, see if my mother's okay too. No, these are happy tears. I lost it. I can't, people do wonderful things for me all the time out of the kindness of their hearts, one gesture after another. But what you did, just feeling my love of that thing, this thing that's hanging in my bedroom. And then thinking to go back and get it for me was one of the kindest, most thoughtful, most loving gifts I have ever been given by two of the loveliest people that I have ever had the fortune and privilege to know. And I thank you. I am saying it publicly, how grateful I am to both of you for that incredible, very special gift that I will wear in good health for many years to come, God willing.
Well,
you deserve it, like he said.
Yeah, and there's a little more to that story, Andrea. I mean, we were in that shop looking around, all of us, and you were just drawn to this, and you were obsessed by this, and so a lot of us in there watching that. And I remember asking you, well, you should get it. You're in Scotland, treat yourself. And do you remember what you told me? You said, I have budgeted myself to have to make sure that I bring gifts home for my family and my friends, and I don't have money to spend on this on myself because I'm gonna buy things for other people while I'm here, and that to me, and a lot of us in that gift shop that day was just you talk about being generous and a kind person. I mean, you're in Scotland and you're willing to pass something that you were just so not obsessed, but just in love with.
Pretty obsessed, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think the collection of us that were there and saw that and just, and I told you that night when we gave it to you, I don't think you realize because you are the impact that you have on all of these people watching and all of us before. And it's just a small token to give back to you as a thank you for just being you, and you're just such a kind, beautiful soul. It was nice to make you smile, when after all the smiles that you've given so many people for so long.
You put in enough work to make everybody else happy. So yeah, absolutely. You're worth it.
Well, I didn't smile. I cried.
I mean, we always cry when we get together anyway. We always cry when we get together. So It's just bound to happen.
Yes. Oh, see, Laura knows. She saw it. Kim saw it. Yep. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wear it like a hug.
Yes. Yeah. So remind me. Okay. Remember you when you came in and it was time to eat and I told you I had just gone outside and a producer. Hi, Erin made it. We've got so many of our friends here tonight. It's so great. Thank you all for coming. We all appreciate it. We love to be able to share these experiences with you. It was the first right after you arrived, I believe. I went out and I had a cigarette and a woman's walking across the street coming up out of the train station, the metro, I guess they call it. Whatever they call it. And she yells across the street, Andrea Barron. Andrea Barron. I'm like, okay, I know this woman's face. Oh shit, where do I know her from? Oh God. And it turned out to be one of the producers that I had been working with on a different project. Oh, that's right, Cheryl. That's right. We were all on the Queen Mary brain freeze. Yes, that was a tough weekend. You have to forgive me for having a brain lapse because that weekend I'll never know how I got through that weekend, but it was through the kindness of others. We met.
And you know what?
First met on the Queen Mary.
It's really funny that Mikey and I both met you on the same day, but we didn't cross paths.
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't take until we met Rick McCollum that we ended up crossing paths and finding out that we had all these connections from previously, like when we met you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very interesting how this universe is working right now.
Well, it's bringing us together in unique ways. But, I hadn't seen you, either of you, in 5 years, more than 5 years. Mm-hmm. And so to be able to do Scotland together. Before we get into anything, Michael, people know you've had an episode of Haunted Hospitals. I'm pretty sure that Bill loaded the link for us, or we'll add it to the show afterwards. And I don't know if like you're legally allowed to show, the trailer for that. I think you are, right? It was out on Facebook, so it's in the public domain. Mike? Michael.
Oh yes. I'm just staring and gawking at you. I thought you were talking to Bill. Yeah, it was on. It was on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I don't know the legals either, but
yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, sometimes YouTube's really weird about one show putting up film footage from something else. But we'll figure it out, and we'll at least include the link because I want people to see. Give out your Facebook, Mikey. Let them know where you can find it.
For sure.
So yeah, it's on Travel Channel. It was Haunted Hospitals season 3, episode 10. So or Discovery Plus. If I think you can just look it up and stream it now if you have either Discovery Plus or. And then the trailer was a long time ago when it first came out on the Facebook page. It's buried somewhere, but you could definitely look up Haunted Hospital season 3, episode 10 as the one that my daughter's and I's story was featured in. And we, I don't know if you wanted to hear a little bit about that or.
Yeah, well, I thought that what we would do is before we even leap into Scotland, which I'm chomping at the bit to do, but before we do, I want people to be able to connect the dots, to know where to find you and what to. There we go. We got the link right there. Okay, anybody that wants to see this, take a screenshot of that or something, because it was very compelling, very compelling. But yes, Michael, I thought that it would be good for both of you to kind of introduce yourselves according to the story that so compelled you that it brought you into this field.
Yeah, so my story it started really in 2002. My daughter, who was 16 months old at the time, she was near drowning in our pool. And we had just bought a house, and I found her in the deep end of the swimming pool, and she was clinically dead. So I took her out of the pool and started CPR, and because it was a new home, the ambulance company didn't know where to go because I didn't have a landline. We thought that we dropped the call with 911. So I actually drove her from the house to the hospital, and I was doing CPR while driving the whole way. I worked at this hospital as an EMT. I'd been there for quite a few years. So when I got there, I ran through the ambulance door and kind of broke through the door with her. The staff didn't even recognize me. I was such a mess, but I was holding her up in the air, screaming for help. And the doctor that was on said, "Oh, this baby's DOA." And I just lost it. I grabbed her by the lab coat and I pulled her down and I yelled at her, "No, DOA, dead on arrival." I just couldn't accept it. So I fought the staff, and to the point where I got kicked out of the trauma room into the hallway, and where police and fire were sitting and talking to me and making sure I didn't go back in there. But 8 minutes after that, the doctor came out and said they had gotten a pulse. And so we did the math from the time she was in the pool till the time they got a pulse was around 25 to 26 minutes. And so we spent about a month in Loma Linda University with her. We weren't sure how she was going to do, but long story short, she's 21 now and she's doing her prerequisites for nursing school. But it was after that incident, we got home with her that she started having these night terrors, is the best way I can describe them.
Yeah.
She was being tormented by something, and I was having night terrors, reliving the whole event over and over again. But she was afraid of this thing she called the little man. And she could see this thing. It followed her. She was at someone else's house or at the park. Little man was everywhere and terrified her. I would have to go get her out of bed in the middle of the night and bring her upstairs with me and just hold her because I didn't know what was happening. And I was just, as a parent, when your child's in trouble, regardless, you want to protect them. When it's something you can't see and you don't know how to fight it, you kind of go mad. So in 2004 is when Ghost Hunters first came out, and I saw that show and I said, okay, maybe these guys are doing something that can help me help my daughter. And I just became obsessed with watching Ghost Hunters and the equipment they used and the techniques they used, and could I apply these in my own life to help my family? And it just blew up from there. It's now to the point where, for me, honestly, it's almost therapeutic.
I get that.
Post-traumatic stress is a real thing for people.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. And instead of falling into drugs and alcohol or whatever, thank God, when I go out and I do these events or I go to private residences or whatever, I feel like I'm maybe able to help someone else who has gone through something like that. And none of us have the answers. None of us have the equipment. I can show you a ghost right now type of a thing, but I can share my experience with you, and I can listen to your experiences and not make you feel crazy or insane or and maybe provide you some guidance. And so it's good to give back, and it's good to network the way that Cheryl and I have been able to do this since we've met, and even before then, just to learn from other people. I mean, let's fast forward to 2013 when The Conjuring came out. There's a perfect example for me. There's a family who's suffering from this paranormal, horrible experience, just like I related. And so then I became obsessed with your story. And in 2014, I started a paranormal group, and because I wanted to get into some bigger places that cost a lot of money insurance-wise, and I learned that you had to it's better to have a business, and the whole business side of it. So so we started SCARS for that, and it's a group of medical people that I work with that because I needed a founder and a co-founder, the whole business side. But it allowed us to get the insurance to get into the bigger places that we wanted to go. And actually, I did get to do an investigation at the old hospital that I worked at for my daughter. I took my daughter. My father passed away there. I spent 11 years of my life there before they demolished it and opened the one across the street. We got to go in and do an investigation there at the hospital. So that was kind of, So long story short, I guess that's kind of what got me started into this. But I've just been going to, 2017 was huge for me. The Strange Escapes event at Queen Mary with Amy and Adam, John Tenney was there, Grant, like all these people that I've been watching all these years that have helped me. And they don't even know. I wanted to meet them and maybe have a chance to tell them, hey, thank you, or pick a brain or something. And I did. I've had amazing experiences. I had a long conversation with Grant and then and then just to be where we're at now and all the people that I've met since, and the people, it's just amazing. It's an amazing community.
It is
amazing. Yeah. And you don't feel, I can tell you the craziest story Andrea or Cheryl or anybody out there listening, and you're not going to think that I'm crazy because you probably got something pretty similar that you can relate to. And that's the beauty of this for me.
Yes.
Is that there are skeptics that, and that's fine. I mean, I get it. But until something's happened to you, you don't know what the other person's going through. So it's a release now for me. And I love learning and growing and having the opportunities to do more things and go to Scotland. So that's kind of the short version. But
I remember John Tenney and I were sharing a table at the Queen Mary, and I remember you coming over to me near my table, and I remember thinking, this man is so large. I mean, you were just like, I do remember that. I remember exactly where we were standing, and you're so tall. And I do believe that I have a photograph of the two of us with me, like all kind of cuddled up next to you and like with my hand on your heart. I do believe that we have, and there's another one. Yeah, that was not from the Queen Mary, but some of our, yes, this is our typical pose, apparently, Michael.
That's okay.
I know.
Yeah, that was
so sweet.
I don't know if, I mean, I was waiting for you there at the booth because you hadn't come in yet. Mm-hmm. And so I was just kind of lingering around, and you came in and you took my hands, and I'm like, Andrea, it's so good to meet you. And you were just, it was a hard time for you and your family that weekend. Yes. And so you shared some things with me, and my heart ached for you. I remember asking you, why are you here? Go home and be with your family. But you said, this is where I need to be right now. And you were just so genuine and kind. And you just feel this instant connection. Anybody that meets you or has ever met you just has to feel that way with you. Just the love, But I wish that the first time we had met, the circumstances had been different, but I think things happen for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything does. And I don't know exactly what it was, but I remember just, being very open and communicative about the loss that I had sustained, that my family sustained, because that was, I believe I met you the day that my sister died, or she had died the night before, the day after. And it was, I know I cried all over everybody. I know I did that whole weekend, at some point or another, my eyes would fill with tears. And, at one point during that weekend, John looked at me like I could hear him thinking, how are you doing this? And I turned to him and I just said, now you know how strong I am.
So that's,
I had to
and that's exactly, and that's exactly how I remember our first meeting, because, I got into this whole thing just because it was fun for me. It wasn't a traumatic experience like Mikey had. So it's funny that we have such different beginnings. Yeah. Well, we're all able to come together and kind of do the same thing.
Well, it's a very eclectic community. You might have noticed.
It sure is. Yeah, my mom would just take us out and we'd go have fun. And, it's free to go to abandoned spots and walk around graveyards at night with flashlights. So it was always a fun thing for me. Yeah. But when we went to the Queen Mary, it was more like I needed to bond with my sister Patty. We had spent lots of time kind of apart while I was, doing drum corps, marching band, all that good stuff. And so going to the Queen Mary, going to Preston Castle with Strange Escapes was like, that was home for us. And meeting people like you that we've always seen on TV and, looked up to, doing the same things that we were doing was just incredible. And I remember stopping you. I waited so long for you to come out that day because I had just read all 3 books and I had so many questions.
Did I answer them properly for you? I don't remember that part.
You absolutely did, because we touched on all of those questions again during the Dark Zone live stream when we had our little conversation.
Yes.
But that's the investigator in me. I mean, I went to school for criminal investigation, but it just turns out that, maybe I'm not supposed to be looking for the living. I don't know. It's one of those things. I still have so many questions, but they're just faced in a different place now.
Well, and to me, it's the most fascinating thing. One of the things that I was so thrilled about when we were in Scotland is that Maria factored in the galactic family, from going to Bonnie Bridge to the experiences that we had. Ghosts and spirits are absolutely wonderful. It is a privilege and most times a pleasure, not always, to interact. Sorry, I'm still sick. I brought back a souvenir from the UK, right?
We all did.
Yes. I'm still like, oh God, here we go again. Oh my God. But I feel okay. Don't worry. Please don't worry about me. Mikey, you're in California. I know you're a nurse, but you don't need to come take care of me. I'm doing fine, sweetheart. Enough with the long plane rides for a while. Just enough.
Yes.
But to go to Bonnie Bridge, to have what happened there, what happened with Scott, right? Scott's son called and said, look right over the herd of cows. That 9-year-old boy did not know that we were standing on Bonnie Bridge overlooking a valley that had a herd of cows in it. He did not know that. And he called his dad and told him, and there they were. And, I was doing my singing and my thing. And then did you happen to notice how many times black helicopters came low over us while we were there?
I saw one. I didn't see the other 2.
Yeah.
But again, I was all over the place with the camera. So that was
right
kind of my first time delving into that part of this whole paranormal journey.
There's a lot under the umbrella. There really is.
There really is. And it's funny because my father always made fun of me, my mom, my sister for all the ghosty stuff and calling the TV shows, the ghosty boys. And he actually told me one time I saw a UFO right outside of our house, and he explained it to me. It was flying just low enough and slow enough to where I noticed it. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I noticed it, it flipped around and took off the other direction. He was in the Air Force. He's been around aircraft, military things. And just for him to tell me a story like that when I was really little was kind of, oh, that's a cool thing. And then I brushed it under the rug for the longest time.
Yeah.
So now these things are kind of coming to light and I'm remembering, wow.
Yep. Gina said,
it's all coming full circle.
The black car, the black sedan that looked like it had just been driven off a lot. I mean, and the guy with the black uniform inside who came and did that spin around at that old chapel where we had to walk up that very narrow lane, remember, because the bus had to go on and go find a farm to turn around in. He couldn't.
I don't think I was there. I don't remember seeing that one either. I took off the front.
God.
I was like, I'm going.
It was where the elves and the fairies and that deep where you had to crawl down into the cavern, into the den. That. And so that was way down the hill on the other side. And we had already come back up and we're standing in front of the chapel when the black sedan did the big turnaround. Sherry saw it. Yep.
Sherry saw it.
Yep. And he just looked at us. He just, looked at us. And the glass was tinted black but I could see that his head was turned and he was looking at us. And so we had 3 flyovers by what I think are the UK version of Black Hawk helicopters, and then the sedan. And oh God, who was it? Maybe it was Scott said, "What the hell was that about?" And I said, "Intimidation tactics." That's, just letting us know that they know that we're there. And because every time that I was doing a thing that I do, people were taking pictures, and you took a photograph, Cheryl. You took one of the best photographs, and it was right. I was standing, what was that, Stirling Castle? Was that Stirling Castle?
That was Inverary Castle.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure?
100%.
That was Inverary Castle with the gardens. Okay.
Let's see.
If he
has that picture, yeah. I double checked because I had to link all these castles together, and I didn't know where I was when we were there, so I had to go back and research. But I looked up other pictures of that castle to see if I could kind of debunk if it was lighting from the inside of the castle that I was photographing in the window, or what it could possibly be. Stirling did have gardens, but this was the Inverary Castle, the kind of greenish colored castle that we went to. Where is that?
I'm so confused. We did so much stuff in one day, but Bill, it's the one I had sent the text along with that said this was the shot. Cheryl was in. You were in the castle when you took the shot, right?
In the castle, and for some reason, I never go off alone. I'm a very social person, and I like to be with people because God knows what happens inside this head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just easier to be with people. But for some reason, there's a couple times on this tour I just took off by myself, and this was one of them. And I was catching lightning in almost every single shot that I took that day.
Okay. Bill's lost. I sent him so many freaking photographs. He's like, look, can we just start looking at photos? Yes, let's. And then when we get to the one, I was out there. I was right out there. I was out in the garden, and there it was right above me. And you got that shot. My camera was buried in my handbag. I was just like, ask and you shall receive. Are you kidding me? And
and again,
so
this
low, and the cloud cover was so low and heavy, and it had been, oh God, like really misty that morning. Remember when we got up? There was
because there was lightning everywhere.
Yep.
It was definitely an almost rainy day.
Yes, it was an almost rainy day. All right,
but it was. Yeah, see if he finds it.
Some of the pictures, yeah. I want people to see it. That's not it.
Oh,
but that's a nice picture.
There's an alien right there with glasses.
Yeah.
That's Roslyn Chapel.
Roslyn Chapel, unbelievable place. That's our group pic at Roslyn Chapel. That was great. Oh, that's my Sassy Pants photo under the big tree.
I love it. I love it.
It Lollybrook. Oh, that's Aerith Castle. Castle.
Aerith. Oh, my favorite. That's charming.
That's the Wallace Monument.
That's Rick is a hero in that one.
Yep.
Yeah, you got it.
You're gonna have to let him win that one.
That's Stirling Castle.
It's Stirling. Yeah. Oh my God. Yep. Oh my God. I was so windblown. My hair was everywhere.
And that's the jail. We were at the top of the jail there. You and Neil and I.
Yep.
And there's the bridge.
Yep.
Doing your thing.
Oh,
this was a beautiful spot.
Yeah. This is where the witch was buried at sea.
Yeah.
At sea. Yep.
And it's the only burial known for a witch in Scotland.
Yep.
Oh, what a fun day.
I know. That was such a fun day.
Oh, wow. What's going on there?
That tree had such a cute booty.
I know. That was Greyfriars, right? That was Greyfriars.
Yeah, sure was.
Naughty tree.
Naughty tree. And that's Roslyn Chapel from the other side. Oh, my God. What a place. And that's the Abbey, I think. Yes, that's the Abbey.
Poolross Abbey.
Yep. Oh, what a magnificent place. Oh, my God.
Yeah, we
Just
actually hiked
beautiful.
up and saw one of the older cemeteries.
Really?
Yeah, it was amazing.
The
St.
West Kirks.
Andrews. That's when we were in St. Andrews. And
Aw.
that's on the, I don't remember. That was the place with the gardens where I couldn't move anymore and I sat there.
It was Drummond Castle. I believe.
Drummond Castle, yes.
Yes, I didn't go in.
There's the picture of
that's
Andrew
my
at the
favorite.
bridge.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, boy, did they come to. Wow, that was great. What a wonderful day.
Oh,
Yeah, everybody teasing me about
Rosalind.
my hippie shirt.
Be kind, though. That's what's
I know.
important here.
Yeah.
That's Abbey Chapel again, right?
Yeah, it is. I had so many pictures to choose from.
Oh, this was a fun investigation.
Yeah.
This was Balgony
The
Castle.
Great
Beautiful.
Hall of Balgony. Yep.
Oh, there's an alien right there.
Yeah.
In honor of Rick, I'm wearing a Hollywood Ghost.
I see that.
Sure.
Hollywood Ghost Hunters.
He's still
Yeah,
in
baby.
Aw. There's Ryan
yep.
and I.
Yep.
The fabulous Ryan O'Neill.
Yep.
I listened to him earlier today.
That's the
This
castle.
is Inverary. Yes.
This is Inverary. Okay. That's the one when you go over the stone bridge, you can see it from the side of the road. Okay.
Yes.
Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
Balgony Castle again.
Balgony again. Yep.
What a place.
I don't remember the.
This is Overton House.
Overton,
where the Overton Bridge was, where the dogs
Yes.
are supposedly.
Yes, the Overton
jumping
Bridge. I
off
wouldn't
for
go
some
anywhere
reason.
near the bridge.
Yeah.
No.
I took a hike down the side. It was pretty nice.
I know that's Queen Anne's Garden, but I can't remember.
This is
Stirling.
This is Stirling Castle.
Is that Stirling?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Stirling.
Edinburgh Castle.
That's Edinburgh. Yep.
And there it is. There's your
picture.
That's my picture.
And there it is. And look
right
in the middle,
center of the sky.
Right. Look right in the center of the sky. And
so the first thing I was thinking was it has to be a reflection of my camera on the glass from a light fixture in the room. But I looked at multiple pictures of mine inside that room, and there's one lamp by the bed. So I tried a lot of different ways to debunk this, and I could not.
No.
I couldn't.
No, you could not, because they were flying low that day. And I was standing based on where those three lights are. And I don't know if it's, a singular, if it's three separate distinct vehicles or vessels, or if it's one that, just the triangular tips are lit. But I was standing behind that clump of trees, probably about 20 yards back on that main lane that goes straight down into the gardens, so that when I looked up just above the tree line, there it was. And
so in actuality, my video, because it takes every picture I take is like a short video.
Yes.
And it's almost like I really zoomed in, and it looks like the lights are pulsing, but all together. Right. Now, I sent a section picture. I sent the picture I took before and after to Mikey. And me and my husband were really looking at it. And the second picture that I took also, you can see two. You can see two of them in the second picture. Mm-hmm. I'm at a loss. I couldn't, and this is new to me. This is new to me. This is not something I went looking for in Scotland. I'm a ghost hunter girl. And I came with Rick, but this is just a whole nother can of worms that we've opened up.
When we were Bonnie Bridge, Andrea said to all of us there, you may not have an experience on this bridge today with the UFOs or things like that, but she said you will have an experience. And so I think a lot of people. And it's like you said, Cheryl, when we were least expecting it, like I was, you were just taking pictures of the beautiful grounds and we weren't looking for it. And then all of a sudden, wait, what is this? Question marks. So, but you nailed it, Andrea.
I can't believe. Go back and look, Mikey, at that other picture that I sent you, because you can see the same thing and it's still got that pulse to it. And I can't figure out.
Like it's leaving. Like the first picture has a 3, the second picture only has 2.
Yeah, but I took a picture on the left side of the window, and then I took a picture on the right side of the window because I had to get the whole place, right?
Right.
And that second picture to the right side, yeah, it's almost like they are individual things because you see one and then there's something else right next to it in the same shot. I don't know. It's like blowing my mind because I found that.
I know. Sherry Harold Bill just put up that she's been having very vivid dreams since coming home. Is that true for either of you? I'm sleeping very well, probably because I'm sick, and so I take help to sleep. But my vivid dreams were in Scotland, and I had some freaking bizarre dreams while I was in Scotland. I mean, bizarre things that I probably should have written down. Really?
Yeah.
It's not too late. It's not too late, girl. You get those down. Put it in the next book.
I've been having
my picture on the cover.
I've been battling the same souvenir you've been, so I've been just, I've been out of it. But I did have an experience there at the hotel too when I went to take. I went out at like midnight to take pictures of the lock and thought I had caught something too. So, and it got me afterwards. As a matter of fact, I was laughing at myself laughing because I was remembering what you had said. And I thought I can't wait to show this to Andrea because she was right.
Yeah. I want people to watch the video all the way through and listen to the last thing that gets said, Oh my God. It's so precious. I love it. Yeah. Bill, if you would, I know Bill's got that loaded. God bless him. He takes care of everything I could never figure out how to do ever in a billion years. But yes, he'll bring that up for us. And, I was out that night too. The tide was out, the flats, where I was at the Stagecoach. I had, overlooking the water and the farmhouses that were way on the other side. And the tide was out and there were birds everywhere. And, it never got completely dark there. It was kind of like land of the midnight sun. It was so strange. It never got dark. And I guess we're pretty close to the Arctic Circle there, really. Not that far from Iceland and way up there, like Alaska land. And when we were in the Highlands and I went out at least 3 or 4 times that night. I had 2 big, huge glass windows, and I pulled the curtains all the way back and left it open, just open, so that if anything decided to come down and visit me, I would spot it. And I was up most of the night and outside, smoking because I do, and sitting there watching the hilltops, the beautiful landscape that was around us. And meanwhile, you're, I don't know, a few miles away anyway, over at Loch Lomond, right?
Yeah.
It was about 30 minutes away, that hotel?
Yes, about 30 minutes away. And that's what you captured. And Bill, you can put it up. Bill.
Yeah. So before I got that video, I had like I said initially, it was midnight, and I had unpacked everything, and I'm like, I'm not here I want to go enjoy this country at night, and it's still light out. It's it was crazy. So I wanted to go get some pictures of the lock and see if I could get a couple stars. If you can see, it looks like there's 2 stars. So I had actually taken a picture before this one where those 2 stars were closer together. And then I was looking back and forth at the pictures, and then I thought, wait a minute, why are my stars moving? So I
they don't normally do that.
Yeah. So I started recording, and then I watched that one. We all saw that one just kind of fizzle behind the mountain there, and I thought, I just laughed because Andrew said it may not happen today on the bridge, but it will happen.
Yeah, and that's so funny because, I've never seen any kind of a shooting star flutter down so softly like that. Like just like the leaves in the wind. I've never seen that before. How can you possibly explain that? Anybody in the chat? Anybody? That was a great catch. And another thing, I'm sure you were supposed to be alone at that point so you can have that experience because, you know, we had this thing happening with the room and I ended up staying with the girls, which was amazing. We went and, you know, did the outside stuff at the Cardinal Stagecoach Inn also, but the midges were out too. So we went back in. But yeah, I think that was supposed to happen, like just for you, Mikey. Yeah.
It was like, why did I have this urge to just go out there and just start taking pictures at midnight? Like, it was just the whole ambiance of that place is just magical. It feels different. Scotland feels different. The air is clean and clear. Like you said, Andrew, I just wanted to leave the windows open so I could just look and see. And you're like one with the countryside. And then everywhere you go, it's almost untouched. And it's like you're on a Hollywood movie set. You know, I told Cheryl when we were in the Highlands, I'm like, I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park right now, just looking at the beautiful scenery. And so you connect different there just in general, you know, and then so when all of these other things happen, it's such an amazing experience. I can't wait to go back.
I know. I want to go back tomorrow. I mean,
Let's go.
Really, I mean, really, it was. But I want to bring everyone I know. I have this compulsion to say, oh my God, look what I discovered. Come with, you know, let's do this together. Let's, you know, I think Maria did an extraordinary job. And sometimes in difficult circumstances, you know, this was not an easy thing for her to put together. And she tried so hard to please everyone. And every experience that I had, I said to her at one point, the only thing I bitched about with her was, you know, this meet you at 9 o'clock at the bus in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning when, you know, we had just gotten home at 10 or 11 or 12 the night before. And I said, do you think that we could have one day where we leave at the crack of noon instead of the crack of dawn? At which point she gave me that, you know, twisted, sardonic, smart ass sense of humor. Doesn't work that way. No, I guess not. I'm sorry I didn't read the itinerary where you're allowed 3 hours to sleep and then you have another 18-hour day.
Now, how did you feel about this? I mean, this whole thing was kind of a surprise to you too, like Scotland. This change, again, I think was for a reason. Like, you needed to be with us.
Yes.
You needed to show us things that we never thought about or kind of passed away in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, remember when we were on Bonnie Bridge and the sky, it was the same kind of overcast that it was when you got that shot. And at, God, I can't keep them straight. Which one was it? Inverary Castle. Freaking awesomely beautiful place. Unbelievable. And Jay and Natalie gave me a bite of their cheesecake near they were out. Isn't it strange the things that you remember when you cram that much? It's almost like going on a journey where it's almost like Scotland took over my mind. You know, it's like being brainwashed, steeped in beauty that doesn't matter how many photographs you ever saw, the Smithsonian over Scotland, or it doesn't matter. Being there is different and it changes you. And one of the things that I said, whether you heard me consciously or subconsciously, one of the things that I said on the Bonnie Bridge was, you might not know them, but they know you. And that everybody that was there is, if not today, if not in that moment, would be having experiences because contact has been established. Whether you know it consciously or you feel it subconsciously, or you just long for it, or even if you're a little trepidatious,
True, yes.
it's still the curiosity factor overrides everything else, inquiring
And I think,
minds want to know.
Yeah, that's the life of an investigator.
Yes. Yep. And
interesting too. I don't know, the Bonnie Bridge we were on was Bridge 51, and some locals had stopped to talk to us, and they said that this was kind of their version of Area 51, this area. Yeah, and there may or may not have been a drone flying around that field when those black copters came. So I don't know.
The footage is amazing, by the way.
if that sparked anything, maybe. But either way,
and you had gone right over the cows too, right over those cows.
Right over. Yeah, and there were none of them were, they weren't mutilated or anything. So that was good. We were
that's always good when the cows are not mutilated.
Yes. But that was that feeling like on the bridge was another example of how Scotland just kind of, sucks you in and
grabs you.
Yeah.
By the heart.
Yeah.
Again, totally unexpected for me. Totally unexpected.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things on this trip were.
A lot of things were, just having everybody singing together on the bus and spreading COVID
thanks to the cousins
amongst the group.
I needed that. Lost my voice, but totally worth it.
When you guys did the Age of Aquarius, I couldn't even sing along. My voice is kind of shot out. COVID has totally screwed up my singing voice. But when I couldn't even sing along to the Age of Aquarius because it's like my song of songs. It's the thing that has been so much part of my life since the 70s, since the first time I ever heard that song. I was just, it was seared into my, gray matter. Just like so much a part of me that I'm sitting there in the front seat with my head kind of facing this way away from everybody because Neil's over here and Bob, and I didn't want everybody to see that, the tears are just rolling down my face as you were all singing that beautiful piece of music and so many beautiful pieces of music. The memories of this trip will last me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And we need to do it again, and we need to make more memories. But I don't want to. I just. Oh God, this is going to sound so shallow.
Bring it, Andrea. We're going raw today.
I don't want to go to unpleasant places. I don't want to go where there are shackles in the walls and the descriptions of the 100 different ways to murder people slowly but surely, and the only mercy is death. I don't want to. I know enough about that. I know enough about the Holocaust. I know enough. I studied and I read, and I've been a student of history my whole life. And I feel like I know enough, and I just want to go see what's beautiful. I just want to drive through the countryside and say, let's stop at that castle, or at least let's pull over and take pictures. How many castles did we drive by and we were like, are we going to that one? No, that's not on the list. Really? Just a stray castle off on the, the knoll, like this perfect. Oh my God, there's so much more to do and see.
Another thing that I did realize when we were there, that some of the locations that we went to that were supposed to be so dark and dreary with such a violent history, some kind of the responses we got, it was just misunderstood. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily, those things did happen, but that's not necessarily what's still there. So like even in the what was the jail, the Inverary jail?
Yeah.
We were getting some, kind of harsh responses, but it still didn't seem like it was all bad. You know what I mean? So even in the worst locations where all the crazy stuff happens and all the battles, even Erith Castle, that was a very military location. Battles happened all over the place out there. But there were still a lot of things in that castle that were very positive and great memories, and the maid, and it was just a lot of beauty, even in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, we even walk into the forests. I did a couple of lives while I had signal, and because I wanted, like you, Andrew, I wanted to share it with everybody, and I was explaining in the video. It's like here in the States, when I was a kid and I went into the woods, I was scared to death, thinking of every horror movie I'd ever seen. Like waiting for something to pounce and get me. But everywhere we went there, it was like an enchanted forest. I was waiting for birds to sit on my shoulder and sing. And, I felt like a Disney princess. I mean, it was just, I wasn't scared there. It was magical for me. But I understand what you're saying. There are some places that have that dark feel. And the good news is there's always that Outlander tour that you could go see Jamie and Sassenach and all of those, and we'll go do all the scary stuff. We'll just get a car, we'll just go stop at all the places like you said. But yeah, definitely have to do a part 2 for sure.
We do.
But for real, I'm down for the scary stuff too. Just saying.
Well, and I'm so happy to wave goodbye to you as I walk off into the gardens and wish you happy haunting. That's that's so good. For me, it's so strange because where I felt a lot of activity was what was it? Mary Cross's
Mary King's Close.
That's it, Mary King's Close. Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine that hovel is your home?
Right.
And
such a tiny place with your animals and your everything. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it was, I know it was just, an entirely different time and age, but I saw things there, I saw things in Edinburgh Castle when we walked through where they had hundreds of men in hammocks. Remember, they were like literally hanging side by side, like stacked like sardines in this place. And how cold it must be there in winter. And I just kept absorbing these feelings of desperation and incredible grief and sadness, and this just a kind of a depression like I've never picked up on before, a hopelessness, an absolute hopelessness in some of those places. And Cheryl, you are a stronger woman than I am when it comes to your ability to look at all of that objectively, whereas I subjectify, maybe because of the way I grew up in the house, in the farmhouse. I feel spirit, I feel activity around me, and I felt so much. It was much less about life and more about death. To know what happened to a little boy who stole a loaf of bread. I'm sorry, but that is just nothing short of fucked up. And whoever had the mindset to do what they did with the boots and with the thumb screws and with the, it's just so sick and twisted that I had to remove myself several times. You might have known that I came up missing. You might have noticed.
Yeah, I did notice that sometimes.
there were a lot of people on the tour that were right there with you that felt that too. Especially in the jails where they would lock, I think they said as young as 7, right?
Yeah. Oh, they would put mothers in with suckling infants.
Yeah. And then they would throw them in with the criminally insane as well.
Right.
All in the same cell. So
And I think the only reason that I was able to handle that kind of differently, because I don't submit to my feelings as much. I think because of all the training that I did going into forensics, because if you're going to deal in crime scenes and stuff like that, you do have to kind of look at things a little bit more like a puzzle and not so much with your feelings. So I think I was kind of trained a little bit more not to submit to those heavy, feelings and just look at things objectively. I don't know, to keep myself sane.
You would have to be. Well, I think it takes a very special kind of person to do what you do.
Well, I'm not doing it yet, but the training was there.
But, and Michael, the same is true for you. I could not do what you do.
I couldn't do what you do.
It would break my heart too much. I wouldn't be able to see what you've seen and deal with so much of the tragedy and loss that you have witnessed. I mean, I was a vet tech for 2 months and all I saw was grief and loss and death. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm never going to be a hospice nurse. I am never, ever going to be able to put myself in a situation. I mean, I just find the world depressing enough. I don't need to put myself in a situation where, I can't fix this. I can only help as much as I can help, and then it's the end and it's done. And and yet I say frequently the happiest people I know are obsessed with death, but not just, not death per se, but what comes afterward. The search for proof of an afterlife. And so I don't investigate the way the two of you investigate because I already know there's an afterlife. I just don't understand what it is. But I know that there is.
Right. And I think one of the bigger questions that I've come across lately in my investigations is, why are you still here? Like, what's keeping you here? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So we've been able to get a little bit more in depth with the questions that we ask and the responses that we get. So I think we're going somewhere. We're getting there. We're learning a little bit more every day and every investigation that we do, how we can, work together to try and find some kind of an answer, whether or not it's the answer or the end all of everything. But at least we get, some kind of information from where we go.
Yeah. And you did consistently so, both of you, the entire time that we were there, which means not only are you connected and kind of magnetized with existing spirit around you, but that they're willing to communicate with you. And I find that the more pure of heart a person is, the more willing spirit is to communicate. So I'm not surprised that both of you get as much evidence. And now that the galactic family has come a knocking on your doors, you can expect to have many, many more sightings and encounters, close encounters, perhaps, in days, weeks, and months to come. So just keep your eyes to the skies, because I promise you, they know precisely who you are. And this is your time to come into a higher understanding. And as both of you, I watched the two of you investigate. I didn't have to participate. I just watched what you did. And your method, your genuine desire and respectfulness to engage is I think what gets you such consistently good results. Try it with the galactic family now. Start talking to them and wait and see what happens. Oh, trust me on this. Please.
And, you know, we are definitely, that's one thing that I'm trying to do is like just be open to more things, just like saying yes to opportunity, you know, not trying to poo-poo everything that people say, even though it's not something that I'm familiar with or comfortable with necessarily. But I mean, I've seen some crazy things, and I mean, just gotta, you know, be open and you know, listen, see what comes around. So I'm definitely interested to keep looking and see what happens.
Yeah, and for me, this whole where I'm at now versus where I started. When I went into this with, you know, when I was going through all that with my daughter, my focus was at the time, I'm going to do this like I do the medical field. We're going to look for evidence-based practice here. Like, I'm going to set up the cameras, I'm going to turn on the voice recorder, and I'm going to try to record evidence. I'm going to record the environment and try to capture something as data. But as I've grown in this field, and you know, the longer I've done this, the more people I've met. Jamie Menshouse's, you know, she I met her at the Queen Mary as well. That same trip, and she and I have become good friends. And she's really opened me up to you need to think of it more than just equipment and data type of a thing. You need to think of it on the spiritual side. Open up a little bit. And then
I quite agree with Jamie. Absolutely.
Yeah. Rick McCollum. You know, Rick, we had an episode, an event happened in Allensworth with PGS up at Porterville. And it was something I had never experienced. It was something evil that everyone experienced. And I didn't know how to handle it. At one point I just went outside. I kept telling myself, don't freak out here in front of these guys, you know, just get it together. I was trying to talk myself off the ledge. And Rick came out and said, hey, he talked to me for at least a half hour, 45 minutes, and said, hey, relax. This is part of the deal. You're not just going to come in here and turn your equipment on and catch something. You're going to experience things. You're going to feel things. You have to. He said, all of the equipment that you have is amazing, but the best piece of equipment you're not even using, and that's yourself.
Yep. So
he's been teaching, you know, and then moving forward, you know, my experiences with you, it's really changed the way I think about the investigations and the way I approach. Rick was very adamant about not provoking.
Absolutely.
Zero provoking.
Right. He's
so freaking rude.
Right. And the way he said it, you know, if somebody came to your house and started yelling and screaming at you, are you going to let them in and have dinner with them? No, you're going to tell them to get out. You know, why would you try to communicate with a spirit or something, you know, in the same manner? Show love, and, you know, and make them feel comfortable. And so I've tried to bring in what I do at work with patients and families. Just be human, be nice, be kind, you know. And there's a lot of similarities with the paranormal and the medical field too, which I want to explore that more. I would love to go to the hospitals, and, you know, I hate to say asylums, but the places where there were a lot of patients and doctors and nurses, and because I feel like I just feel drawn to those types of places and things. But we go through stages with the paranormal, just like we do with grief or stress as living. If you're dealing with death or something traumatic at home, there's actual stages that we go through. You know, when you have a family member newly diagnosed with cancer, for example, that's totally unexpected. They go through kind of a denial at first, right? Like, this can't be happening to me. Let's run some more tests. Maybe this is wrong, you know. And then they go on to the next stage where they're angry. Why is this happening to me? You know, why? I'm a good person. You know, I do good things. And then the next stage is they go into bargaining, where they're begging God, why me type of, so there's like 5 stages they go through. And it's kind of, I found the same thing with like, especially private residences when we're doing these investigations, people finally get the nerve to call and ask for help, but they're like, I can't, the lights are coming on and off. This can't be paranormal. But then the cupboard doors started slamming. That's not what's going on. And then they're angry about it, like how I was with my daughter. What's happening to my child? And then I start bargaining, like, God, please help me, help her, So there's a lot of similarities there. That whole speech was just about bringing, what can I use that I know, bringing into the paranormal to try to figure out or help other people understand moving forward with all of this, and having the opportunity to meet all of these amazing people, all of you guys have been doing this for so long, and the people behind the scenes, the Bills, the Jay Blumkeys, the Kathleen Burns, and Christina Augustines, and just everybody that's doing this has been brave enough to bring it out to the public when it was kind of a taboo before, and tell people you're okay, and you're not the only one, and ask for help. And we're going to try to give you some kind of answers or some kind of justification as to what you're experiencing, and something. Don't just live in your house in fear alone forever. So
right.
I'm sorry for end rant there, but
no, you're absolutely right. And another thing too that I think that you're both very well qualified to discuss are the psychological ramifications of experiences like this. How it alters us. I can say unequivocally, every single member of my family, all 7 of us, were fundamentally altered, changed as human beings from the experiences that we had for those 10 years at the farm. We all left thinking differently. We all evolved into different people than we would have been had we not lived in that environment and had never experienced anything like that. We would have evolved into different people. Even my parents would have continued to, grow as individuals and never, ever have the experiences that we shared as a point of reference for anything. And, fix my thing. My sister Christine was the one that was most traumatized. I didn't know that until 35 years later when I was writing the books, and I tried to get information from her. I could have used a good forensic, investigator.
Well, girlfriend, let me tell you, after reading those books, I truly understood your struggle and how it changed you all as people. For anybody that has not read the 3 books, House of Darkness, House of Light, do it. Don't even ask a question anymore. They're fantastic, and you will know a different side of Andrea. Like, I literally came in, I couldn't wait to meet you because I was like, I have questions about this, about this, about this, about this. And I can't take it anymore because I have to know these questions.
But are you sure that I answered your questions for you? I was so fractured that weekend.
You know what? 100%. Because when we did go back on the dark stream, the dark zone live stream, and I got to reiterate my questions, and you answered them again for everybody else. It just solidified that you did finish. I don't have any more questions about anything you wrote in those books, and I've read them more than once. So everybody do this. Everybody from the tour, like, now you know Andrea, now you love Andrea, go get those books and read them. Like, they're fantastic. End rant.
Oh, I very much appreciate that. And I know you are very familiar with our story, but you've also had some extraordinary things happen in your own life that have, we had a chance to really bond and talk during our tour. And you've had a fascinating life in a lot of different ways. And you are I think that both of you are in a period of rapid growth in terms of not just the paranormal, but your own spiritual identity, your spiritual awareness and ascension to a higher level of consciousness. And both of you are just so open. I mean, you're as absorbent as SpongeBob, both of you. And to see you do what you do and, not rely on your equipment, rely on yourselves and each other, with the equipment being almost auxiliary. And yet that's where you capture your evidence. You're also equally open to the experience. And I think that's what's missing with a lot of people that get into paranormal investigation and feel like they have to buy 100 gizmos and gadgets and little light up machines. And that's great. That's wonderful. But it's
still love those machines.
I know. Oh, I really like the one that had the eye in the middle of.
Girlfriend, my REM pod from Penn Paranormal. It's amazing.
It is amazing. But it's also the way that you ask questions, the way that you engage with any. And I mean, these spirits were strangers to us. What did either one of you get on the recorder downstairs? Several people told me that they picked up a voice that was asking for Annie in the chapel. Several people told me that they had recordings. They had EVPs.
In the chapel,
not Andrea, Annie.
At the chapel at Balgoni Castle.
Yes.
I didn't specifically hear your name. Mm-hmm. But I know that, the people on the tour did know that after the tour that we did with our tour, mm-hmm. Mikey and I, along with Rick McCollum and Greg and Kyle Stewart from Scottish Paranormal, mm-hmm. we did a whole nother investigation that was filmed by the Dark Zone.
Yes.
I did talk to Jay about that, and he said that I can go ahead and announce that they're going to be putting that show out on August 7th, only on the Dark Zone app. So if anybody wants to see what else we found at Balgoni Castle, and mm-hmm. it was amazing, and it was, kind of like a life-changing kind of step in, where we're going with investigating, period.
Yes.
But yeah, if you guys have any chance, just go to the darkzone.app, download the app, and join us on August 7th so we can, kind of relive this whole thing again. It's just a little thing that we can do,
And I missed that part in the chapel when you guys were down there as a group, because I was playing with my toys. And but I did hear the other people in the group. Was it audible at the time, or did they just catch it on the recorders? I think that they heard something. Somebody
said that they heard a disembodied voice, and there were other recordings on their recorders, but I wasn't in the chapel. I had gone in the chapel, but I was upstairs.
They wanted you in the chapel. That's why.
Yeah.
Did you feel a connection to Lady Margaret of the house that had passed away there?
I felt a connection to the whole house, and that house is way older than 1,300 years old. And Stuart said they can't date it back as far as it goes. Yeah. They've gone back as far as they can.
Well, I mean, could you possibly been feeling the land or something that had previously been on the land before the castle was built?
It was so ancient. It was so... It's the first time that... I don't know. I mean, I even had a weird thing with the animals. The dogs were all over me like white on rice, both of them. I mean, like incessantly, like touch me, feel me, kiss me, stroke me. And then I had a herd of cows race up to the fence line as I was walking up to it.
Speaking of, I'm so sorry. You guys have to excuse me because I have a cat that's eating plastic right now. And
no, don't allow that.
1 second.
I have one that licks plastic bags at my sister's house. Incessantly licks plastic bags. She's a freak of nature. Her name is Bonnie Blue Eyes.
That's not okay?
No, it's not okay.
Oh, he can sense it. It's crazy. Ugh, little monster.
I'm asking for a friend.
I want the two of you and, working in cahoots with Rick. is
that's in the works.
Yeah, it's important. It needs to happen. And I've got a thing that I'm doing out in California, and slowly but surely putting this series together that's going to be mind-blowing. And when I come back out to California, I would like to invite both of you to be a part of this project with me.
That would be amazing.
Wow. Yes.
Aw, thanks,
absolutely.
Andrea.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just, me sitting down with you doing basically what we're doing here, except in person, and you being able to exhibit and share some of your collected evidence and just talk about, the experiences that we've had together. And I know that there will be more. There's no question in my mind about that. I want to go to Wiltshire County, England, and go see Stonehenge. I cannot leave this planet until I do that. Have either of you been?
No.
Scotland was my first time out of the country. So
really, it was mine too. It was mine too.
I'd previously gone to Japan twice and Europe for a few weeks back in my musician days.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was for a totally different reason. And I mean, unbelievable. I'm glad I could be there for your first times.
Stonehenge is on my bucket too, so let me know when you're going, because I'm in.
Yes. And also the farmhouse. I mean, we know so much about it. I've seen and read and kind of lived vicariously through the Dark Zone and your books and you. But we need to go to the farmhouse. We need to make that happen. And because I can feel that energy.
Yeah. And you need to go there when I'm there. I need 100%. To be the one that brings you into the house, both of you. And I can make that happen. That will happen.
I would have to go. You. Yeah, you would have to be
shameless
there.
Plug. Shameless plug.
Mm-hmm.
Got my farm mug. Mm-hmm.
You would have to be there when I go, Andrea, because I don't know why I'm terrified of that ranch. And I'm just gonna say it. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because.
Really, I'm so surprised to hear this.
Yeah,
I really am. I'm surprised to hear this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated to go, and I would love to go. Absolutely, to do an investigation there. But I'm terrified of why. I just feel like, I think it's because of everything that you guys suffered there. But yeah, you would only have to be there to hold my hand through that place, because I don't think I could go alone. Honestly, being honest.
But Mikey, again, she always says that she does not have bad feelings about the farm now, right, Andrea?
Right.
So
yeah,
you got to find some kind of comfort in that.
I do, and I know that you said that it's not. It's different. But for whatever reason, I can't explain it. Like I said, I'm fascinated by the property and by the stories and everything that's happened, and I absolutely love to go. I'm scared to go.
The energy of being there, just going onto the property, just being present, kind of like being on Bonnie Bridge, just being present in that place alters you. It changes you. Mm-hmm. It's a significant life experience for most people. I'm not saying there aren't people that go there and walk on and go, yep, all right, like whatever, it's another old house. I'm sure there are a few, especially the ones that are, stalwart skeptics that even if they did feel something would never admit it. But no, it really is a truly enlightening experience. It opens you in ways that are almost nondescript. It's something that you can't describe it. You can only feel it. You can only feel it, and it's different for everyone. And there's a swirling timelessness about the place that the closest I've ever come to feeling it anywhere else was Scotland. And that's my ancestral home on my mother's side, Clan Buchanan. Remember how I searched all over the place for, to get one of the antique original Clan Buchanan tartans for my mother? I finally found it. A shop that had an attic. Yeah, they had an attic. I sent one of the workers up into the attic into their really old stock from decades ago. And they came up with it for me. They sure did. So it's going to be one of her birthday gifts in August.
Awesome.
And she never watches the internet and wouldn't even know how to turn on a computer. So unless somebody rats me out, she doesn't know what she's getting.
Yeah. What happens?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yep.
So we
viewers all over the world, but nobody's going to tell her. I know they won't. They're really cool. They're cool. Yeah. So what was it, Mike?
Well, I was just saying when we were at the Airth Castle for going back to the investigations and the techniques that we were trying and things like that, we had one of the cousins there. Jimmy was asking questions, and you'll remember this. He had asked a question. We did like a little shotgun EVP session there, playback, didn't really hear anything. And then he wanted to ask again, and he kind of stumbled through the question and almost like apologized, like for, screwing up the question. And then, but at the end of the recording, we heard a response, and he was trying to communicate. I think it was a Jason or Ethan is what
Ethan.
Yes. It was a Daniel and then Ethan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I remember before I played that back, even I told Jimmy, don't ever apologize. Don't force it to happen, because like you said way before earlier in the show, you love it when people that are pure of heart and genuine and just curious come in and they ask questions and things, because it's natural. It's not just, hey, we're here, we're doing flashy lights, talk to us, whatever. It's genuine curiosity, things like that. Just be you, be genuine. And Cheryl and I had an opportunity at Old Paulding Jail to work with a group of younger people there too, that were there were a few in the group that were just kind of following along and really not involved. They were kind of just standoffish, a little scared maybe, I don't know. But by the end, we were able to get them involved with the investigations and open up and found out later that they had experiences at their home when they were kids. That's why they wanted to do these things too. So maybe using all of these things that you have taught and Rick has taught and so many others have taught, these techniques to help other people open up and maybe even get response back, because they're being genuine, and it seems to be an effective method, and I love the technique, and I love not only we're just there to do an investigation, but everyone just relax. It's like a family getting back together, just talking like we're talking, we're laughing, and just be you, and don't be, don't like you have to be a certain way or ask a certain question. Just ask what comes to your heart. And so
I think when we bring our best and most authentic selves to this kind of an encounter, I don't know what it is, but I think it's as though we give them permission to be their authentic selves. That they can. There's kind of we kind of match frequencies. We vibe in the same place, even though we often, everywhere we went. Think of how many places we went that. People were trying to identify themselves. They still wanted to be relevant from the other side. And I've often said, to me, it doesn't matter who they were, that they still are, is the magic and the miracle of this. But it matters to them because they still are who they were. It matters to them. And so when we show them that respect and try to, elicit a response of, who they are, when they lived, how they passed away. And then, of course, we had Scott Allen do that gallery that was amazing. And
speaking of genuine, that man is just a genuine good person. I mean, never once tried to push anything on anybody, just kind of sat back and felt and explained. And that was amazing. Thank you, Scott. We appreciated the messages you gave to us too.
Yes.
But very genuine. And I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking about the people on the tour because I made connections with so many people.
I know, so many and such a wide variety. Just a really wide variety of individuals that
was another,
and we all meshed,
Oh yeah, like a big family. I was just gonna say that was another great lesson too for me with Scott reading, because he had people come through and I didn't have a personal connection with like family, friends, or people that like family or friends as far as I knew. I didn't speak up. I didn't say anything. But he kept talking about this woman, and as he's talking about this woman, I was thinking about a patient that I had. And so finally at the end, he read up. We were all getting ready to go because nobody had connected with that person. And he said he had felt her there even the day before. Like she was a very strong presence that he was feeling. But for some reason, I asked at the very end, could it have been not necessarily a family member or a close personal thing,
right?
Because I keep seeing this patient, and he's like, "All right, tell me about this patient." He wanted to know who this person was too. So, and we ended up agreeing that this was someone that I had been in contact, even though I never had met her or had an opportunity to have a conversation with her. She was already in bad shape when we met, but I recognized her based on description, like seeing the person, and he. So the lesson from that, yes, don't stop holding it in. Say it. No one's gonna think you're crazy. No one's gonna think you're weird. If you feel like there's something to say, it may be wrong. It may be you. There were people that thought at first maybe that's my family member. It wasn't.
Right.
But and if I had experience, I'd still be wondering to this day, because I was too scared to ask. So it's chiseling away all of this at the wall that I built up as far as, just investigating this way and trying to do this X, Y, and Z. It's really all of this experience and meeting all these people really just, a whole new world as far as this paranormal investigation go and lessons. So, and
Mikey, hold on a second, sweetheart. Why don't you? You're really breaking up. It's very difficult to understand you, and what you're saying is very important. And so I want you, if you could, hop out and then use the same link to come back in, and maybe we can clean up your Wi-Fi connection.
Okay.
So I did see we had Scott in the chat, so I'm glad he's still listening and was able to hear all the pleasurable things we were saying. I really enjoyed that gallery reading. I've been in 3 now, and never once did I ever have anything even remotely close to something that I could connect with. Mm-hmm. But when he said he had a short man with a bow tie with like a cane, all I could think about was Fred Astaire. And I was like, my grandpa was a ballroom dancer. I was like, no way. I didn't even want to say anything because I was like waiting to see somebody else gonna like raise their hand and like take this little man. But nope, that was mine. That was mine. So it like blew me away. I was just sitting in the back waiting to just watch everybody else, and here it comes. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. I haven't been a part of a gallery reading quite like that. So
well, it was small and it was intimate as well, and I mean, we had the most magnificent sunset, the most magnificent moonrise. Everything about it was magical. Everything about it, the way that everyone was so locked in and focused on what we were doing. And there's something very endearing about Scott that, he is so very eager to make that connection for someone else, just to help facilitate that, to be the conduit. And, he's just, I wouldn't say he's overly eager to please, not that at all. He is just so thrilled to be able to, put both sides together and have messages come through that are meaningful to other people, where there's just no mistaking, who's sending that message to whom. And when you have those magical moments when, it's like, bingo, that's it. That's my father. That's my mother. That's my uncle. That's, absolutely that the message is for you. It is magical. It really is extraordinary and a wonderful thing to witness. Truly. I was really afraid. Honestly, I was really afraid.
I'm sure. I am too.
April was just going to blast through and take over like the Aries that she is. And she hung back for the entire time. She didn't come through even once. And I know she was there. I know she was there. April would not have allowed me to go off to Europe without her. No.
Do you have anything go missing this time or anything? I mean, because that has happened.
It has happened, but not this time. No, it didn't. I am missing one earring, but I think it'll turn up. I know.
You got that right.
Yep. Yeah. So what are your plans for the rest of the year? Am I going to, how much time do we have left? Oh, good. I'm so freaking blind. Hold on.
Is Mikey back in? There you are, buddy.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes. Your picture is frozen. Now it's unfrozen. That's good. Your Wi-Fi sucks in California. It sucks.
How's mine? I thought mine was pretty good.
Yours is perfect, like you're in the same room with me. So there's that. But yes, okay, I'll take my cheaters off now. No, I just want to know what your plans are for, the rest of we have 15 minutes left in the show, and I wanted to give you an opportunity, both of you, to let our viewers know what you're going to be up to, where you're going to be, if you've got plans for the fall. I always stop after Thanksgiving. I'm done. Thanksgiving's it's all family from Thanksgiving until after New Year's. Nothing else. So
yeah, and that's just about right. We kind of packed a lot in right before Scotland. So we've done a lot just in the last year. So there's no real set plans as of right now. We are working with some folks to maybe do some in-person kind of ghost hunting around the area. And so things are still in the works, but we're going to be doing a show with the Dark Zone when they air the Balgony Castle investigation. So that's going to be huge for us because, oh my God, I was infatuated with the Dark Zone because they started at your house, of course. Yeah. So I got stuck right away, got hooked immediately. So doing anything with them. And so that's kind of the only thing that's really going on. Other than that, rest, because Scotland was just a lot. And it's going to be a lot of reviewing evidence and pictures and just emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say there's a lot of standby and hang tight moments, stuff in the works,
Yeah.
like Cheryl was saying. I have so much stuff to transfer still. So I had over 2,000 photos alone just of Scotland.
Wow.
Yeah, 2,500. Yeah.
Right. Not including the video and then all of the investigation stuff that we did. So we have a lot of evidence to review, a lot of things to do as far as and work. I mean, I'm a nurse by day, a ghost hunter at night. So I'll be working my regular stuff too. So trying to fit things in. But I have a lot of I do some other things with a friend out of state, so I'll be going to Texas next month, and then I'll be going to maybe Denver next month, and then at the end of the year we do a little man trip. My buddy Walton and I, we go from Dallas down to New Orleans, and then up to Mississippi, Alabama. So that'll be a little week away. So you just stuff, and then of course the holiday. Are huge, and whenever I think Andrea's coming out to California sometime. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Cheryl?
whenever you come into California, we're ready to go.
Andrea, I mean,
well, that's one of the really great things about you working with Jay and with Kathleen and Christine. The Dark Zone is just an invaluable resource. I mean, it has got it's relatively it's practically in its infancy, and it's already loaded with all kinds of content, the vast majority of which is scot-free, and that's a wonderful thing for people who want to explore this field more and get a real bird's eye view of the eclectic mix of people who are working in this field and what each one individually brings to the method, to the formula, to the process, to the ingenuity, to the curiosity, and each one tapping in from their own unique perspective and then sharing that so liberally out into the world. I think I first talked to Jay about this, doing the Dark Zone, in 2016 over breakfast in West Hollywood in 2016. And he and his partner and I sat there with my dad and one of my friends, and we talked about paranormal stuff for 3.5 hours. I mean, it was lunchtime by the time we finished breakfast. That happens. Really, it was Eggs Benedict, okay? It was like the really good stuff. It was the good stuff. Best hollandaise sauce I ever had. And I tried at that point to envision what the future looked like for this. And Jay, saying he wanted to do a show with me. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great, but do you know how many producers have said, oh my God, I would love to do a show with you? I'm like, that would be great, And
it all came out at the perfect time. I mean, right when the pandemic hit, everybody's clawing at their skin because they're stuck in the house and nobody can do anything. And I think they single-handedly saved me and my husband because I was no longer bored.
The field. It really
sure
has. It has.
Between the live streams and
the contribution of it. And the flexibility of it is amazing.
And the networking, again, one of my thing. I'm not done networking. I got to meet Chris Lumen in Vegas at the Paracon there, and she's part of the app, and I would love to pick her brain about some of the stuff, and I'd love to sit down with John Tenney and talk about near-death experiences, and I'm looking to more conversations and learning more and being that little SpongeBob you were talking about.
Yes.
With as many people
I am a
that can
sponge.
take advantage of as many of these things that are out there for us, and trips and apps and whatever, whatever's available, to just keep growing and learning.
Sure. Yeah, and so for people that don't know about the app, they're kind of trying to make it so you can reach out to your favorite influencers. Like, you can send Andrea a message. You can send, all these people that you watch on all these events. You can send them messages and network and, look at their content, share your content. So it's really it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, it's
so
going
I'm
to be
very excited
interactive.
Yeah.
And
so when it actually hits, I'm going to be very excited to be involved. And
I know, it's great. I mean, oh gosh.
I did send you a message too, Andrea.
You did on the Dark Zone.
I did. I did.
I'm looking. I wrote down something. I'm looking here and I'm not seeing it, but I wrote down something, a message that I had gotten, because it's set for notifications in my email.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been some days I'm not there yet. I need to call Jay. Oh yes, you do, sweetheart. You absolutely do.
We love you, Scott.
Yes, we do. It's really great because I'll get notifications that someone has commented on something that I've done, or some film I've got up there. I don't even know everything that's up there yet. I haven't had a chance.
Oh, none of us do.
No, I mean, Jay called me and he's like, "Do you have a few minutes to go over the Dark Zone app?" I'm like, am I going to have to learn stuff? And he said,
it'll come eeasier. It'll come easier once, everything's set and done. Yeah, it'll be easier.
I said, well,
you'll be okay.
There's no room. I don't make me learn new stuff. Oh God.
Okay, well, I'll quit bugging you as long as you call me when you come to California.
I will. See, here's the thing. You've got my phone number, so you can just text me and then I will know that it's you and it'll pop right into my phone. Michael, the same holds true for you. Do not send me a message on Facebook Messenger. Do not. I mean, I am thousands of messages and people take time and they write to me and I wish there were 10 of me. Honestly, I wish there was just Facebook Andrea that just answered messages all the time. Yeah. I mean, I can't turn my account over to somebody else and say, answer my personal messages on Facebook. People would know it's not me. They would know just based on the answers that it's not me answering. I would never do that. So I'm in a position where, especially when I'm traveling a lot, they get no response, and I feel terrible about that. I hate that. And that's the same thing's going to happen to both of you too. So I'm just warning you in advance now.
You're not getting rid of me now, girlfriend. You're not going to get rid of me now.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to worry about that because, again, you can text me. That's the only guarantee that you're going to get me. It's the only one. But, I've really loved and enjoyed spending time together with both of you, and having you on the show tonight has just, meant the world to me. And I know that it did for my viewing audience. Mikey, we're going to have to, next time we're plugging you directly into the Ethernet. Okay.
Okay.
Next time, no Wi-Fi allowed, because apparently you live at some freaking altitude or something. But I feel like, Cheryl, don't you think that everybody heard most of what Mike had to say?
Yeah. We'll do what we do. We'll do a part 2.
Okay, we will.
Absolutely.
We absolutely will.
And I think this solidifies the whole we were meant to meet.
Yes.
And kind of start this new journey. So thanks again, Andrea.
Thanks, Aaron. And thank you, Andrea, for having us on the show and having all those long, amazing conversations in Scotland with me, and spending time, taking time out of your trip to sit and talk and just listen. And very few, I'm very lucky to have had that experience with you, and I treasure it, and I appreciate everything you've done, everything you continue to do, and the person that you are.
Well, I don't know if either one of you realize how much sharing that experience enriched it for me. And I am grateful to both of you in myriad ways, but to call you my friends is the greatest gift of all. And
Thank
so
you.
what I will do is leave our viewers tonight with one important message, and that is to cherish your loved ones. Family can be friends, and friends can be family. Cherish your loved ones and never, ever leave them, letting them hear anything other than I love you, because love is our greatest of superpowers. So, on that happy note, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful night, and joy to the world. I love you all. Good night.
Love you.